Welcome to our channel, where we explore the electrifying realm of football. We often chant, "We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen." But in the world of football, that claim is reserved for a chosen few. Determining the best football team on the planet is no small feat, and it's sure to stir up fervent discussions, as even teams in the 8th tier of Spanish football yearn for recognition. However, undeterred, we're here to embark on this thrilling journey and present to you the top football teams of 2023. Number 10. Manchester United. Manchester United just barely scrapped into the top 10. Last season, some big teams in Europe didn't quite hit their stride. Juventus had a rough time and hung out in the middle of the Serie A table after a couple of fourth-place finishes. Meanwhile, Tottenham and Chelsea weren't setting the world on fire either. But the Red Devils squeezed into our list instead of Dortmund and Atletico Madrid because they were on the upswing. Under Erik ten Hag, they were looking better with each passing week. Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes found their groove again, and they are aiming to make a splash in the race for the Premier League title this year. Number 9. Inter Milan. Inter Milan may have let the Serie A title slip to Napoli last season, but they are still a force to be reckoned with in Italian football. The dark days of a decade ago are history, and they're back at the top in Serie A. They bagged the title in 2021, with a couple of second-place finishes on either side, plus another title in 2023. They even picked up the Coppa Italia and Supercoppa Italia last year, and made it to the Champions League final against Manchester City. They found their groove in the upper echelons of Italian football, and that's no small feat, especially with AC Milan's up and down form, Juventus taking a tumble, Atalanta still knocking on the door, and the lively presence of Jose Mourinho at Roma. Number 8. PSG. PSG has been the boss of French football, bagging 9 Ligue 1 titles and a whooping 21 domestic cups since 2013. They've been ruling their home turf like no other team in a major league, with the trio of Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Neymar. They made Ligue 1 look easy. But when it comes to the bigger European stage, PSG falls a bit short, considering the big bucks and star power pumped into the club. Their performance in continental competitions hasn't quite matched up. In the past 10 years, PSG only made it to the Champions League semifinals twice. Even the run to the 2020 final had some relatively easy matchups. Now, Messi and Neymar are gone, and Mbappe is eyeing the exit. Maybe it's time for PSG to hit the reset button and build a solid team, not just a bunch of superstars. Number 7. Liverpool. Keep an eye on Liverpool in the 2023 rankings as the year unfolds. They had a rough go of it last season, no doubt. But let's not count them out just yet. Jurgen Klopp is still a top-notch manager, and injuries hit their squad hard. They've also made some big signings, setting the stage for a strong comeback in 2023 or 2024. Liverpool made it to 3 Champions League finals in 6 years, won the Premier League in 2020, and had a couple of second-place finishes. They also clinched the FA Cup and Carabao Cup in 2022. Liverpool may be in a tricky spot, but their recent hiccups shouldn't erase their standing at the top. Not just yet. Number 6. Napoli. Napoli isn't just a quick success story. They've been steadily climbing the Serie A ladder for the past 4 seasons, and they are aiming for more success. In 2020, they finished 7th, then 5th in 2021, followed by 3rd in 2022. The big moment came in 2023, when they snagged the Serie A title and even made it to the Champions League semis last year. Victor Osimhen scored a ton of goals in 2022 to 2023 and is still on board. Havica Kvaratskhelia, a rising star, chipped in with both goals and assists. Under Luciano Spalletti, Napoli is becoming a real force in Europe. Number 5. Arsenal. Putting Arsenal right at the top just because of one good season wouldn't be fair. But the Gunners picked up their game in 2022, and they've been going strong ever since. They've got a young and talented squad that keeps improving under Mikel Arteta. In 2022 to 2023, they rocked up the 5th highest points in Premier League history after 19 games. Young guns like Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and William Saliba led the charge. Now, they're even stronger with the €100 million man, Declan Rice, anchoring the midfield. Sure, they haven't won it all yet, but to challenge the likes of Manchester City in the Premier League, you need some serious talent. Arsenal is loaded with potential and looks like they can win some silverware this season. Number 4. Barcelona. You might have heard a lot of negative talk about Barcelona lately, making it seem like they're on the brink of fading away. But that's not the full story. Let's leave the talk about their future and money to others. When it comes to playing on the field, Barcelona has reasons to be hopeful. Xavi has settled in nicely, and they even clinched the La Liga against Real Madrid last season. Players like Pedri and Yave are making waves, and Robert Lewandowski is still a goal-scoring machine, while their European performance has dipped since Messi left. They're still a force to be reckoned with. Number 3. Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich has been on a crazy 11-season winning streak in the Bundesliga. They've clearly been the top dogs in Germany, with Dortmund and RB Leipzig trying but not quite shaking things up. Some might say that the league isn't as tough, but their Champions League's record speaks for itself. Bayern made it to the semis in 8 of the last 14 seasons with Finn. They are a serious European heavyweight, and now they've got Harry Kane leading the charge. Number 2. Real Madrid. Real Madrid, the Spanish powerhouse, are still the team to beat in European football. They've clinched the trophy 4 times since 2016, which puts them in an elite group of 6 teams with 4 or more wins since the cup started in 1956. Jude Bellingham is turning heads as one of the brightest young talents worldwide. Luka Modric is a force in midfield, even if he's slowing down a bit. And David Alaba is a rock in defense. With young guns like Vinicius Jr., Eduardo Camavinga, and Aurelien Tchouameni, Real Madrid's success seems set for the long haul. They might not have their domestic league fully locked down, but when it comes to Europe, they're the reigning kings. It would take a major shock or Manchester City bringing home a European title to knock them off the top spot. Number 1. Manchester City. Manchester City finally brought a European trophy to the Etihad in 2023. They've earned their spot at the top table. Sure, there's been talk about alleged financial rule breaches, but for now, let's focus on their on-field achievements. City have won 5 of the last 6 Premier League titles and they are gunning for another in 2023 to 2024. They've got the best coach around, Pep Guardiola, and a roster with stars like Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. Not every moment in 2022 to 2023 went their way, but City's standards are so high that any stumble seems like a major crisis. They are the big shots in the most lucrative, highest quality league in world football. Their ever-evolving style is set to keep them at the top for a good while. The one knock against City was their lack of a Champions League trophy, but they made clear progress with 3 consecutive semi-final appearances before finally grabbing the title in 2023. They firmly established them as the team to beat. As we dive into 2023 and aim to pick the top teams in the soccer world, let's lay down the ground rules. First thing first, we're not just looking at the latest hot streak. Beating the league leaders last week doesn't automatically make you a global football superstar. Remember, form might come and go, but class lasts. Take Liverpool, for instance. They had a rough run in 2022 to 2023, but that doesn't instantly drop them from the top 10 list to make way for teams like Brighton, Brentford, or Fulham, although they've slipped a bit compared to last season. Second, trophies count, but they're not everything. Bayern Munich might be the kings of Germany and PSG may rule France, but the competition isn't as fierce as in the Premier League and La Liga, so European performance is a big deal. We've tried to balance recent success, this season's form, and signs of where teams are heading to come up with our top 10. We get it, you might have a different pick for number 1. So, who's your top team in world football right now? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and thanks for joining us.